Welcome to the Town Board meeting Thursday, March 5th, 2020. Please rise and salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emergency exits are to my right behind the town attorney and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Councilwoman Samoji? Here. Councilman Morris? He's
He's not here.
Just like tell everybody. He's going to be noted as absent for throughout the entire meeting. Councilman Gutierrez?
Here.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Here.
And Supervisor Prodi?
Here. Public comment? No? Town clerk report?
Sure. Good evening. Office has been busy with our tax collection. We are concluding our penalty-free tax collection with $5,268,200.95 collected. Remaining uncollected to date is $873,979.67. Since our last meeting, that following Monday, I did pay to the town supervisor, or the general fund, which is in a whole amount of $892,547. So the town and all special districts have been satisfied in full, and I'm working on paying the county. This evening, I have two items to present to the board. The first item is it's that time of year where we're going to start looking at our lawn mowing bids. Tonight, I've circulated the proposed 2020 lawn mowing specifications, same specifications as last year, this with the season running April through beginning of November. And tonight I'm seeking authorization to go ahead and make that legal notice.
I make the motion that Dormer be put in the legal notice for the 2020 lawn mowing contract for the town of Amenia.
Second.
Councilwoman Samoji?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Great. And now that we're so eager about getting that lawn mowed, we do have our first request for this year from the Weebatuck baseball teams that are in need of a field. Unfortunately, at the school, they will be under construction this spring. The high school drainage system runs underneath our fields and is in badly need of repair. This is an issue that we're hoping to rectify, but they're a little set back. So it's their annual request to use the town fields for the upcoming spring season for all JV and modified home games and practices. And they're just looking for, and that's the request of the Weebatuck Athletic Director, Kathleen Howard. If we can allow that use, I can let her know tomorrow and get the ball rolling.
Motion to enable the Weebatuck School District to use our ball fields as requested.
Second.
Councilwoman Samoji?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
And with Weebatuck on my mind, as we all know, I'm a proud parent of a 2020 graduate. And his class is hosting a bingo at the Weebatuck Elementary School. It's $35 a person. They are doing a purse bingo. So you win a purse. So they're going to have Michael Kors coach, Kate Spade, Judy and Burke. So if anybody likes to play bingo and not only win some fabulous prizes that you're looking for a purse, come on down to Weebatuck High School on Saturday, April 18th. The event will begin purse preview at 6 and the event of bingo begins at 7 p.m. If anyone's looking for any information, please contact any senior class member or feel free to contact me here because my son Zachary will be glad to hook you up with some tickets. And that will conclude the town clerk's report for this evening.
Okay, the building report. There are 6 new building permits totaling $12,516.75. Certificate of occupancy searches for this month. There were 2 searches totaling $250, along with 10 fire inspections, $500, and 1 vacant land registry of $125, bringing the total for the month to be $13,391.75. Recreation Commission. Report, do you have anything?
The only thing I have from Recreation is the senior trips and stuff. The first one's out in May. That's to Westchester Broadway Theater. Please sign up. I have people calling and signing up and requesting. And you'll get your table assignments and chair assignments when you get your checks, so I know how many people are going to be in your group and going, okay? That's the basic thing that I have, except for the Easter egg hunt is on Saturday, April 4th, 10 o'clock here. We've got the Easter Bunny coming. It's going to be a program, bunny hop or something like that. The bunny jumps around and you jump around with the bunny. That's what I understand. And it should be a lot of fun, and I'm going to be having the seniors from Tally Ho are going to be helping me fill the eggs this year, and it should be a great time. I just have one thing. I don't know if anybody knows. It's not really recreation, but for people who have pets, did you see this come over the thing for the pets?
Yes. Yeah, you can announce that.
Yeah, there's a free pet first aid training Thursday, March 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Red Hook Firehouse, 42 Firehouse Lane, Red Hook, New York. This is very good. I've been to the one that they had, the Wassaic Firehouse. It was very good, very interesting, because if you have pets and dogs, cats, whatever, they'll answer all of your questions, and they will show you kind of little simple first aids with your dogs or your pets in general, and where they should go and how you let you know about what kind of vaccines and shots and things that they should have. So I encourage anybody who has a pet and loves them. It's free. They may be coming to this area too, but if you're going to be up that area, go see them.
And the next rec meeting is on the 12th at
Yes.
7 p.m. here,
Yes.
if anybody wants to join.
Any other committee reports?
I attended a Housing and Sewer Committee meeting on Monday, and we had talked about our goals of developing and creating affordable housing in Amenia. We talked about different, we actually had a fellow from Hudson River Housing come and tell us what the, how they determine whether or not properties are appropriate for affordable housing, whether or not it's feasibly possible, and it usually has to do with figuring out how many units and then dividing it by the cost of the land and the improvements. So we had a little mini course in that, because we had found several homes and properties in Amenia, but none of them were deemed immediately feasible for various reasons. So we wanted to understand more about that process. And we are interested in talking to people who are in need of affordable housing and considering a survey that would help us understand where the weaknesses are, either in home ownership or in affordable rent. And we are looking into the idea of land banks and trying to get more information about what it would take to bring ourselves up to speed with the lack of sewer system, which we understand is directly tied to the to our issues of the lack of affordable housing, which usually has to do with density in the town centers, where it's designed, but because we don't have a sewer, you can't really develop all of the opportunities that are available with infill and such. We will be meeting again, but I don't know what the next date is. That's all I have.
Okay, resolution regarding Amenia Hydrant Special District. Ian, what?
It's going to be 19.
Okay, I just want Ian to give us a little background so
Little
people
summary on it.
understand
Sure.
what's going on with the
So,
mysterious Hydrant District.
so the comptroller is
Can you
conducting,
pull your microphone a little closer?
the comptroller is conducting a project by which they're trying to determine and verify essentially all of the special districts in local municipalities. And they're asking us to affirm that the list that they have for Amenia is true and accurate. On that list, one of the districts listed was a hydrant district, which, after discussions with the supervisor, no one's ever heard of a hydrant district. They have a date that it was created. They claimed it was created on 9/27/2005. So, actually, it was 9/27/05. So, I had requested records from town clerk, who probably hates me for it. But we went back not only to 2005, but to 1905, all the way back to 1905, to try to reconstruct what may or could have happened. Essentially, with all our research, I contacted Dutchess County Real Property, I contacted the comptroller, I contacted the fire chief, I contacted our water operator. No one knows or has any knowledge about this hydrant district. There is no record of it ever being properly formed. So my opinion is that since it was never, there is no record that it was ever properly formed, there's no need for the town to incur the cost to go through a formal dissolution, and that we should basically have it removed from the roll. Actually, I even contacted the assessor. The assessor had no knowledge of it either. So
There's no record of it ever levying any taxes?
there was never any taxes extended to the district since 2006. That's as far back as we could verify.
And Real Property usually said they don't usually set up a district unless they have some kind of material, but they have nothing either.
Yeah,
So
usually
it's like the mysterious special district.
there could be a number of reasons or theories on how it potentially got there, but there is no record that I've been able to find, that Victoria's been able to find, town clerk's been able to find. No one's been able to locate anything. No one has any knowledge of it. Even the comptroller, it's on their list, but they have no record of it. So I requested numerous times for them to check to see if they had any sort of resolution or order establishing, and they didn't. So I think it is perhaps an error that it's listed, but inevitably, to follow through with their request, we need to, there's an Excel spreadsheet that we need to fill out, put an explanation of why we feel it should be removed, and then the supervisor would have to verify that the other special districts are, just to verify that they are current, active, and properly formed. So,
All right.
in a nutshell.
So resolution number 19 of 2020, resolution authorizing supervisor to edit and verify the special districts in Amenia per the request of the New York State Comptroller. Whereas the town of Amenia has been contacted by the Office of the New York State Comptroller, Division of Local Government and School Accountability, regarding a project OSC is conducting to verify all special districts in New York towns and counties. Specifically, they are seeking to verify all districts established under Article 12 and 12A of the town law. Whereas a special district has been defined as a geographic area within a town or county established to provide improvements or services within that district, utilizing benefit assessments or ad valorem, levies imposed on benefited properties, in some cases user fees paid by users within the district, to finance these improvements or services. Whereas independent special districts formed pursuant to Town Law Article 13 are specifically excluded from OSC's review. Whereas according to OSC's records, the town of Amenia has 4 districts consisting of Amenia Hydrant District, Amenia Lighting District, Amenia Water District Number 1, and Wasack Lighting District. Whereas the town board has no knowledge and/or record of any hydrant district ever being formed in the town of Amenia. Whereas the town board caused the attorney to the town and the town clerk to conduct an extensive review of the town's records with regard to the formation and/or existence of the hydrant district. Whereas the town clerk and the attorney to the town searched the town's records as far back as 1905 and found no such records indicating that a hydrant district had ever been properly formed. Whereas the attorney to the town has contacted OSC with regards to any documentation supporting the creation or formation of the Amenia Hydrant District, and none were located or provided. Whereas the attorney to the town contacted Marco D'Antonio's SCBI Environmental Services Incorporated, the town of Amenia public water supply operator, and he was unaware of any hydrant district within the town of Amenia. Whereas attorney to the town contacted Aaron Howard, chief of the town of Amenia Fire Department, and he was unaware of any hydrant district within the town of Amenia. Whereas the attorney to the town contacted Dutchess County Real Property Tax Service Agency, and they indicated they had no records or documentation of a hydrant district. Whereas the attorney to the town contacted the town assessor, who indicated that he had no knowledge of any hydrant district or any tax levy extended to a hydrant district. Whereas the town tax collector has no knowledge of any record of a tax levy being extended to a hydrant district since 2006. Whereas the project being conducted by OSC is specifically looking for districts established under Article 12 and 12A of town law, and there are no provisions under Article 12 or 12A for the creation of a hydrant district. Now therefore be it resolved, the recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. Now therefore be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Amenia hereby authorizes the town supervisor, based upon the research set forth above, the advice of the attorney to the town and Denise S. Williamson of RBT CPAs LLP, the town's accounting consultants, to edit the special district spreadsheet provided by the New York State Office of the State Comptroller, Division of Local Government and School Accountability, and annexed hereto, to reflect the Amenia Hydrant District should be removed from the special districts, as there is no record it was ever properly formed or that any tax levy was extended to the district. Now therefore be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Amenia hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute any and all documentation necessary to reflect the above findings and to execute the special district affirmation as requested by the Office of the State Comptroller. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Councilwoman Samoji?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes. The next item on the agenda is, should be trailed to the train lighting discussion. The lighting part of the bid was an ad alternate. Do you want to explain that, John?
John Comsa, Town of Amenia Project Manager for the Trail to the Train project. The lighting portion of the bid was originally sent out as a base bid, which would include all the earthwork, the boardwalk, striping, signs, things of that nature, paving. And the lighting is a base bid in an entirety. So everything from the concrete bases through the solar lights and poles are of a base bid. I mean, I'm sorry, add alternate bid to the base bid. So you have two different animals there. So right now we're just working on completing the base bid of the project.
John, my recollection was that back in the day when we were talking about this, and you weren't a part of this, so you might not know, but there was some discussion to do the lighting bases as part of the original body of work. Does anybody else on the board recall this?
Yeah, we were going to lay the infrastructure as I understood, but not install the actual lights.
Right.
Because it would be silly to dig it all up later.
Right.
And install the lighting. And I was under the impression that as an alternate form of transportation, the requirements of this grant was that ultimately we did need to light this to make it a alternative to other modes of transportation so that you could use it year-round
Which
as needed.
I remember that was mentioned a couple of times. I don't recall by who, but that goes back to my original question over email, which was then we put out a bid for the trail where the lighting component of it was not a required part of the base bid, right? And so if DOT reviewed that bid spec and reviewed the ensuing contract that we had with Colarusso, which did not include the lighting, DOT seems like they would be fine with it. So I'm not sure if there's been a change in that. Are we hearing anything differently from DOT?
I have not heard. I mean, that's a procedural thing if they want to make that a requirement. But as far as the base bid, it's the lighting has always been an ad alternate, and all my information looking through everything, they have very specific item numbers for the lighting in particular. Like, for instance, the bases are item 670.0104, and the poles and all their appurtenances there are 670.151.00.108, and that includes all the lighting, and that's the ad alternate, which is completely separate. So as the project was awarded, it was awarded based on that base bid without the lighting in it as part of the base bid.
And in the design itself, there,
In the design itself, if you look at the plans, I have a copy of the plans here, you can see, it is completely as an ad alternate. Every note on the lighting is ad alternate.
So none of that infrastructure at all to deal with lighting has been included in the base bid?
No.
So I was under the impression,
I have an email, I think Victoria and I, maybe even you, Damien, in the loop there with WSP, the engineer. Dan Breyer made mention that he recalls that there was talk about it, and I don't remember the time frame. Obviously, it predates me by quite a bit, so I'm paraphrasing a little. That there was discussion about the light bulb bases being put in as part of the base bid, but it never materialized to be a formal thing. That's how I understand it.
So, I mean, I'm not confused by the fact that Colarusso is not expected to do any of the lighting work now. That part to me is straightforward. I think the question for this board is how much of a priority is it that we incorporate lighting into this trail now or at some point? I will say that I personally have walked 22 at 5:20 in the morning in pitch dark. And, you know, if I'm going to the train really early, you know, and we're using the trail, it would be nice to have some lighting. I know some other folks in town that take that walk to get to the train as well. However, the flip side of that is the residents there in the hamlet don't want basically something that is, you know, more lit than Route 22 is, you know, right there in their backyards. So that's the feedback that I've gotten from people on that. It doesn't sound like DOT is going to force us to do this right now. And so I think we just have to have a discussion and make a decision how we want to proceed.
But I thought lighting that pathway was part of the design.
no, he just said it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't part of it. Oh, I remember.
It's part of the original plans.
The
but-
plan, that's what I'm,
but
the plan.
not in the
It was
design.
specifically separated, on the plans, it was separated out as, you have a base bid, and then you have an ad alternate for the lighting. So they took all the items that pertain to the lighting themselves. It was solar lighting. It was concrete, reinforced concrete bases, a pole with the solar panel on it, any of that equipment that goes along with that as a separate bid
okay.
item. So when it went out to bid, you got 3 bids in the last round. The current contractor for the base bid, and there's 2 other contractors that bid it, but they also bid on the ad alternate for the lighting separately.
Everybody who bid gave us two prices, basically.
Right.
One price without lighting, one price with, and what we awarded was the pricing without lighting.
Correct.
To the lowest bidder.
Right.
I have a question, since you have the plans there in front of you. Would it be disruptive to build lighting later, based on the way they plan?
The light pole bases aren't huge. They're 2 foot in diameter or 4 feet deep. So that's something that could be transported on the boardwalk if, because there is lighting on either side of the boardwalk as you continue, north or south. The feasibility of installing those, it's a light machine to carry it out there, and a couple of laborers to dig the hole, and the machine helps, plumb it up, backfill it. That's it. I mean, there's not a lot to that.
So there is lighting on the boardwalk part currently?
No.
No.
No, but I mean, as far as the lighting plan, that alternate lighting plan had lighting going from the boardwalk down to Wassaic terminus, where it ends by the
But
Maxton
the
Mills.
buried concrete bases you're talking about are only on the earthen part, obviously.
Right, they're all concrete bases.
Oh,
Everything is concrete bases.
So basically, we just need to dig a hole and put them in.
Yeah, it's 2 foot diameter, well, a little bit bigger. It'd be a 3 foot diameter hole. Set the base with the help of a small machine and a couple of laborers. It's not a big deal to do it later. It's easier to do it now. It might take a little bit longer, but I don't think it's going to affect the price anything drastic from my perspective.
It sounds like it would be a very grant-worthy project, like for us to write a grant against in the future.
We're looking for grants now,
No.
Mike and I.
But I think the second question then that came up was just really about light pollution. And how tall are the lights that are in that design?
They are overall, they're 13 feet, 8 3/4 inches. The height to the fixture is 11 foot 4. And it's a down projecting lamp with a shade on top. And I don't know, I wasn't a part of the design, so I don't know if they did a study on the luminaries and what the extent of the pollution would be from those lights and wattage, things like that. I don't know. Would seem like you could still light it, with a lot of options if you wanted. Actually, the contractor brought up a point of LED, the rope lighting, LED rope lighting, and you have power at either end, the train station and down by Maxton Mills potentially. So you could, on the boardwalk portion, run rope lighting underneath the railing, which would just illuminate essentially your footpath. Yeah. With almost no impact of light pollution. Because you have the railing covering the top, so it's not going to come over the top. It's just going to project down. So potentially an inexpensive way, obviously have to
Solar
be
lights,
looked into.
I mean, there's not that much it's trees, obviously, because you're paralleling, so would solar be an opportunity there?
Yeah, that's an opportunity to do that, sure. Yeah. When you get down to the south end, when you get closer to the tracks, there were some light pole bases in the ad alternate for continuing south. There you would have to come up with some other alternative if you didn't want to do this, this ad alternate. The only problem is in your, potentially additional funding for engineering and studies on light pollution and how much that's going to cost. That depends on the design and the engineer you're going to use.
I'm just not sure. So we've been told that since this is a transportation grant, the trail needs to be open at all the time, which means it needs lighting. But why would the DOT agree to this base bid? I guess they assumed that we would follow up at a later time to do the lighting? Are they just giving us a window of time to find alternative
Yeah, there really
sources?
isn't. WSP is saying lighting would be a benefit to the trail. It was not a requirement by the DOT. So it's
not
I was under the impression it was a requirement
Okay.
for the initial federal grant, but apparently it's not.
John, would you mind asking the contractor for more information about that rope lighting?
Sure. Yeah, I've had conversation with him already, so I'll just further that along, just, see if he can get us some information on what he's thinking.
If that could be circulated to the board, that'd
Sure.
be helpful. I think that sounds like a pretty interesting approach. At least on the boardwalk side.
I think we get the thing built, and we worry about the lighting as we learn more about it. I don't see a lot of other rail trails with lighting, at least locally. Does anybody know about it?
Yeah, but to Victoria's point is that it's
a
not,
transportation
it's technically not
grant.
a rail trail. Yeah, it's technically not a bike trail. It's
We have a transportation grant.
an alternative transportation.
I know that was the intent, but if it's not a requirement, it's simply not a requirement, It's something
I
that we
would-
can do later.
I would suggest the board get in writing from someone that it is or is not a requirement, because it will dictate how this proceeds. That, to me, seems to be an open question, or at
I
least a
mean, we
confusion.
have it in writing from our engineer here.
Yeah, and the
So-
DOT approved it, the DOT who manages the
I would get
grant.
something from DOT, who manages that grant, indicating that it is not required at this time. We can proceed and do it at a later date.
I
That would
can
be my
get that.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions for John?
If anybody has, I don't know if anybody's been down there yet, I do have some photos if you're interested in seeing.
Why don't you bring them over
They're beautiful.
so people can see them?
There is a question from
Do you have a question?
public.
You need to you need to go up to the microphone.
These are photos here coming forward. This is the most recent, and obviously that.
Sharon Kroger. I was just going to offer an explanation because this section of the trail is fulfilling two different functions. One is that it's an extension of rail trail, and in that regard, it functions like a park, like park rules. But it's also a means of people getting from Wassaic to the station, some of which has to be done in the dark because of commuting and all kinds of requirements that you would give a station. So you basically have the right to do both. And so that section of the trail is fulfilling both sections. But there's no reason why you would have to move with the lighting right away, I don't think. I can't remember anything in the planning for all those years that required it right away.
Hi, my name is Lauren Waz, and I'm the last house before the trail heads north. And so I just want to make it clear that I really don't want the lighting, or if we do some sort of lighting, I would love and appreciate the idea of a low lit, something that's not right outside my bedroom window, as the plan now states. Something that's, low and could still do the solar, but the lighting is focused downward on the ground and not shining up in everyone's windows. I also think, I understand that it's a transportation hub and you want people to be moving through that space even after dark, but I feel like the lighting might attract more people to come to that space in unsafe times, and that I think could also be a problem. If you have this space lit 24 hours a day, I just feel like you're not going to really want to advertise people to be walking through a very wild, a very unprotected, unsafe, environment at midnight. I don't want people walking by my house at midnight. So I'm just thinking that the lights might, sort of advertise in a different way and sort of create other problems that we might not be thinking about. Thank you.
Thank you for your input.
Just on the hours of operation, it will be open 24 hours a day, right?
Yes.
But the last train departs at 12.
9:30, so the last train gets into Wassaic at midnight.
Midnight, 12:15, something.
Yeah.
It's around
First train out is 5 o'clock,
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
dark.
Oh, I know. I think I kicked a bobcat on 22 one night walking in the dark. It was really,
Lucky you didn't bite back.
I don't think it was a bobcat. Might have been a big cat, but not a bobcat.
Thank you.
That's good. Photos.
It's really great progress. How's it going otherwise?
Going very well.
Could you go up to them?
Thank you for coming down, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, no problem. Thank you for having me. As far as the progress, we're about 35% complete, which if you look at the winter, we've been very lucky with the constructability portion of the winter. Really hasn't slowed them down. There's been a couple of little weather delays, but that was a daily thing, nothing extended, and they caught right back up. So from my perspective, where we're at, you're probably looking at a completion of mid to late spring. The boardwalk is essentially complete as far as the walking surface. They're working on the guide rail system at present, and they're not quite halfway, but in another week and a half, they'll be complete with that from one timber abutment to the other. You can physically walk across the whole thing, it's just that there's no guide rail once you get about 30% down from the train station.
And just to clarify, nobody should walk across the thing from end to
I
end
will,
until it's actually.
I would
No,
until
no, there's
the guide rail
no
is complete.
entrance to it.
There's no.
Those cones are there for a reason.
Yes. But it's gone very well. We've billed Payrec 1, I think was $116,000. That was from December into January. And the last Payrec we just did was Payrec 2. And that was like $309,000 and change. We're about $427,000 billed so far, which is about a third of the project, and we're about 35% done. So it's that matches, and that's good. We haven't had any nothing's come up on my end dealing with the contractor and what they're billing for. We're getting what we're supposed to, get billed for. So that's working very smooth. Things are being updated in EBO. This will be the first Payrec that we just did where a subcontractor starts getting paid. So I've encouraged the engineer to make sure that they get paid in that 7-day. There's a 7-day window they're supposed to get paid.
Yeah, John reviews all the pay requests.
Right. So that'll be, it's AC Fence. A&C Fence is the fence contractor, so the first portion of fence they put up along the tracks by or just south of the train station, that portion's done, so they're billing a percentage. It's a big dollar figure, but just want to make sure that they've provided all their information, so the contractor now needs to pay the subcontractor within a 7-day window. So.
And for those that don't know, John is a local Amenia resident. We were fortunate to find, how did you find this wonderful
John
name?
Andrews, our town engineer, recommended him, right?
Well, John Flood, actually.
Oh, John Flood did the original?
John
But
Flood.
John's got a history in construction,
John
engineering, project
seconded it.
management.
Gave it,
Yeah.
yeah. his
Makes the
blessing.
best cider donuts in town, in case anybody is,
We can talk about that after.
we talk about that afterwards.
Actually, he has a contract with Paley's.
That we will
this
be
year.
Paley's Baker this year.
Are we going to have a party when this trail opens?
With
I don't
dogs.
see why not.
We did, Dee Dee Barrett was here, Assemblywoman Dee Dee Barrett, and we did a little town hall type thing over at Four Brothers, and we briefed her on it, and she was talking about ribbon cutting in the springtime, so
Great.
maybe that's a thing we can work together.
Sweet.
Any other questions?
I have one more question.
Could you come up to the microphone, please, so everybody else can hear your question? They may have that question, too.
It's a question regarding the fencing. When they came through in my front yard, they basically took down the fence that blocks us from getting to the train. Blocks little kids from running out onto the train tracks and my dog and everything like that. So now it's just a free flow into the train. And I'm wondering how that's going to be addressed. And then I know the fence stops basically right in front of my house, and then there's no fence from 9 Old Cross Road all the way to the mill building. So I'm wondering, sort of like, is that a decision that can at all get changed? Can that fence continue?
I don't think they finished the fencing.
Yeah,
Well, they're not complete yet.
It's not complete.
It's only a portion of that's going to be complete.
I think there is fencing. Do you have it there do you want to show him where your house is on the plan?
This is, you want to dress up there? Or?
Yeah, please.
Please.
I just want everybody to know.
This
so-
is the south side of the project. This is Maxon Mills here. And there's a,
So this is that, yeah, okay.
right. So if we back up a little bit.
There's also Pickle's best friend.
I'll walk you through from the south side going north. So Furnace Bank Road, this is the project coming north. And there's existing fence, there's existing fence from this point.
Train to, right.
Right,
But there's
the
not
train
fence
train.
on the other side. Isn't there a fence right past here on both sides?
Well, this is the fence right here,
Oh, it goes.
right there.
That's the fence.
That's existing.
That's the existing.
Existing fence, which, the way they have this line here with the hash marks is the limits of grading, so that may be impacted. I don't know here if they talk about that being removed. I don't believe so.
No, I guess I'm saying is there used to be a fence here, and that got removed
Okay, that would be on their property then.
on the rail trail property.
So Lauren, what I can do is I can give you John's email,
Okay.
and you guys
And I
can,
can direct
we
it.
can-
yeah.
But they do have, if you
Yeah,
look
there's
here,
more fence going
there's more
up.
from
We're not
this
finished.
side by the tracks.
Yeah.
There's additional fencing picking up right here. You can see there's a very faint X, and there's a darker X. And from here going this way back north, comes all the way, keeps going, and it terminates back into the property line here, where the trail comes to, this is
Is
where
there
the boardwalk
fencing
starts.
on the other side of the trail too, or no?
Here, it's only, well, it's what's existing, which is, there's none here. There's this existing fence, that proposed fence. And that proposed fence goes between the tracks and the rail trail, comes up to where that culvert crossing was underneath the road. And this is where the boardwalk starts, going back north. So this point is this point, and this is the boardwalk then going up. So there's no fence at all up here, because it's such a big distance, and there's wetlands in between. And this is the fence that they've completed so far. Is this portion of the
Just
fence.
knowing Metro North, I'm sure that they would insist that there's full fencing, keeping any pedestrians or anyone from,
Yeah,
get right up to the
they've actually
tracks.
added fencing to the project
Right, I know at
before
one
we
point it was
started.
shorter, they actually added additional footage. I don't know what the total additional footage is, but they did add more.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Do you want your picture?
Sure.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions for John? No? Okay. I also put in under train lighting discussion, we received a request for amendment to the agreement from WSP for $171,900. I have Ian reviewing that. I've sent you this is the letter, but I've already also emailed you the whole contract, and it's under review right now. Under other matters,
I'll wait for Ian's opinion on that one before I
well, Ian wasn't,
go get ranty. Sorry?
I'm reviewing
Yeah.
that now, so
yeah, I just sent it to him and said, no, I'm not going to sign it. When
Yeah,
I hear
I
back
mean-
from Ian, then I'll let you know.
My understanding is they had given us a fixed bid, but anyways. Cool.
Okay, under other matters, I've given you information that I received from New Vance Health regarding the COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. There's the information that New Vance Health or local hospitals sent us is on a table right inside the door. You come in to the building so that anybody can pick it up if they have any questions. But we've been, made sure that all of the employees have been given this information from New Vance Health so that everybody is informed. I've also ordered additional Purell hand sanitizers for outside our meeting rooms and where we have a large amount of people congregate for meetings. Public comment? Town board comments?
I guess just on the coronavirus stuff, people are recommending just checking in frequently at the CDC website for any updates. That's the federal CDC website.
Yeah,
And one
that's
of-
on this,
What's on there?
the CDC website.
CDC.gov, that's pretty straightforward. One of the things that they say on there is that if you haven't gotten your regular flu shot yet this season, you should still go and do that. It can be helpful preventing you not from getting the coronavirus, but just from getting the regular flu, which will keep you out of the hospital and keep resources available for those who might get more sick. So if you haven't had your flu shot, I'm one of the delinquents. I'm going to go do that tomorrow. You should get your flu shot.
We're looking at having a cleanup day for Saturday, April 18th, and honor Earth Day, and the CAC is heading that up, and it would be from 10 to noon, and we're looking to get Welsh to waive the fee for bringing roadside trash that day to the transfer station. So put it on your calendar, and we'll definitely have some neighborhood cleanups going on. We'll have contractor bags available for picking up so that you can do a section of town. We'll be focusing on Wassaic and the hamlets of both Wassaic and Amenia. So we'll have a utility trailer in case somebody has, sometimes people discard heavy items along the road, a chair, a TV, whatever. But we haven't been seeing so much of that anymore, but if there is, we could help assist with that and get it to the transfer station. But you'd need to call me and make sure, because I'll be doing the rounds about 11:30 so that we can get it all to the transfer station before it closes at 1. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm at 845-489-7826. Thanks.
Oh, do you want to mention the community development block grant?
Yeah, the town of Amenia received a community development block grant for $150,000 to complete the sidewalk that goes to Beekman Park. We did phase 1, we did 188 feet. That was all we were able to do at the time, and now we're doing phase 2. And we received this grant from the county.
Congrats.
That's great.
And the last thing I had was on March 28th, the county is doing a hazardous waste and electronics recycling event. You do need to register in advance for that. It's 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Saturday, March 28th. And more information can be found on the county website. Though I believe it's $10 to pre-register.
And it's in Poughkeepsie? Is that where they're holding it, or do you know?
Yes, it is.
At the DOT?
You know what? I have a link to the county flyer. Dawn, I'll share it around.
I thought there was an update on that. I'm looking for it. Because you have to RSVP,
Yes, you have to RSVP.
and I thought it was forced after.
So, all right, I finally got it to come up here. So registration and $10 prepayment is required. You can do that by going to duchessny.gov/solid waste, or you can call 845-463-6020, and the address is 626 Duchess Turnpike in Poughkeepsie. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Is there any other town board comments?
The only announcement we have is, as we conclude this meeting, we are going to have our pancake breakfast, Amenia Firehouse, Sunday,
This Sunday?
the next Sunday, the 15th, but it's before our next town board meeting.
Oh, okay. So let me see.
March 15th.
15, oh, here I am.
All right. I'm in.
Okay, make a motion to go into executive session for pending litigation with the town attorney. The town clerk is excused.
I second.
And Councilwoman Doyle's going to be so kind to
Take notes?
take my
Yes.
notes. Sure.